Most people don't realize how much of their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions pulling details about you from public records and the internet, then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. All backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might just sell credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of that together at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/prevent. Protect yourself now at aura.com/prevent.
Indiana starts first down and 10 at their own 10-yard line. Tevin Coleman with some running room. Tevin Coleman down the sideline. Coleman, one man to beat. Tevin Coleman's going to go 90 yards, and Indiana takes the lead. Randall L. scrambles, started off the pitch, keeps it himself down the sidelines. He could go. Antoine Randall L. touchdown. Ward going to the single coverage, end zone. Touchdown! He hits Cooper again.
Welcome to the Hoosier Happy Hour podcast. It's another recap podcast, and it's another, I don't know, walking through the motions, I guess, at this point. We're here to recap game number 9, the victory at Maryland, 55-10. And to do that with me is Brandon. Brandon, I don't know if I'm going to go any of these recap pods without my voice or something being screwed up, right? So yesterday, yelling a lot in the basement, and then I go to a show afterwards. It's never going to be back. So what's up, Brando?
No, I feel like you're constantly, like, if you were on an injury report, you're just that you're constantly questionable. And not you, but your voice. Like, it says voice questionable. That's just what you are. This is a very happy hour. You said going through the motions. I don't love that because I think Sig would hate that because he battles complacency. Yes. He battles complacency. So I'll use the Tomlinism and making the difficult look easy is something like Tomlin would say. And he's especially going to say that after creating 6 turnovers against the Indianapolis Colts today. Fortunately for you, that's not what we're recapping. But you are right that, it's another blowout win. I sent this text in the last 3 games, Michael, all conference games. IU has won by an average of 40 points. Conference games. 40-point blowouts. You are incredible with all of your stats. This has not been done since the Clemson National Championship teams.
Yeah, this is same thing as last time. Similar stat that they were also the second team since the first team since 2018, the Clemson team to beat 2 conference opponents by 50 points or more.
Yeah, I mean it's getting not fair, and we're getting in rarefied air, and all we're doing is cementing that we're putting up stats teams at national championship teams have. So everyone better get ready for that conversation because, again, we're putting up numbers that legitimately best teams in the last decade plus have done.
Yeah, and it's impressive, right? And obviously it's very impressive. The thing that's going to be hard to get over, and I'm sure we'll talk about it next week when we preview the Penn State game, is and I wonder if we could talk to. No, I don't want to talk to Ohio State fans. I wonder if we could talk to like an Alabama fan and wonder if they're nervous going to what would Maryland be like? Arkansas. Like if they were going to play Arkansas, would they be nervous that week? Because Arkansas has a statistically pretty good defense, right? That's
Right.
kind of how I was at least a little bit all week. And then the way that it started didn't help a whole lot of that anxiety. But again, we just whooped them.
Here's a hot take. In the moment, I didn't think this. 24 plus hours later, you love to see the response by Nando, by the offensive line, by the coaches. Maryland punched Indiana in the mouth. Maryland landed the first punch, and it was a serious one.
Yeah.
And on the road, facing adversity, Indiana fans have been there. It's the game quickly goes from 3-0 to 17-0, and now you're just how do we even scrape back? And before you knew it, the game was squarely in hand. So I actually love that Indiana's having these situations because it only strengthens my confidence in this team. Again, I'm not acting like I was sitting in your basement, not nervous. I was not. We did our ritual of a shot before the game, but I said to myself, all right, that's all I'm doing. Honestly, it's daylight savings time. I kind of didn't feel good a few days ago. I'm not drinking. What did I do immediately after that interception?
Yeah, went and got a beer.
I went and got a beer. I was like, all right, well, I'm stressed. I can't sit here and not have a beer if this is how this game is going to go. So this isn't me hindsight 2020. This is, I genuinely mean IU being put in these adverse situations is good in the macro.
Yeah, and let's skip ahead for a second, then we'll back up. So you talked about taking a gut punch, right? I wouldn't say it was really like I don't know. I'm not a boxing guy, right? I don't really follow boxing or MMA, but like, I don't know, maybe like a little hit to the head, a little daze, right? Just a second. So after starting the game with an interception and then a 3-and-out afterwards, after Maryland kicked
a sack and a blown up run. Like, I mean, that was a bad 3-and-out.
Bad. It looked bad. So after that, here are the next possessions for Indiana. Touchdown, field goal, touchdown, field goal, halftime, touchdown, fumble, touchdown, 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 touchdown. That's it. Like one punt, second possession of the game, never again. Like unbelievable. So let's dive in. So number 2, Indiana goes on the road to Maryland, who has now lost 4 consecutive games, all in conference, and beats the crap out of them 55-10. Moving on to 9-0, number 2 in the coaches poll again, with another just 1 vote for number 1. Number 2 in the AP poll with 11 votes for number 1. None of that stuff changed from last week. We're going to do the Heisman Doza stuff. His stats again, not going to jump off at anybody. That's going to be crazy, right? 14-21, 201 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah, so Nick Bragg is over here, again, flaunting his, he doesn't have the numbers to support it. I forget what handle, so if you're listening to this, I apologize. If you took the amount of game time that Nando has missed, this is an audio pod, but I'm air quoting missed, he's missed over a game with how much time he hasn't played in the last 3 games.
Because it's over. Because the games are over when he comes in.
Because the games are over. So in the last 3 games, that means he's missing more than a quarter a game in the last 3 games because the game is a blowout.
Unbelievable.
So I forget again. I'm sorry. There's just so much IU content. I can't remember all the handles. But throw stats out there or throw them away, in my opinion, because Heisman voters are watching the games. They're not like AP voters. They're watching the games. And if you watch the tape of Nando yesterday, outside of that first interception, which he put it exactly where he needed, Elijah Surratt from, I don't know if the hammy was when he heard it, warm-ups or what during the week. I don't know. But that interception, I will not put on Nando. It will go on there on the stat book. He put that throw exactly where it needed to be. And Surratt just has to be stronger to the ball. But after that, he was incredible.
Yeah. Just zipping the ball, right? Just zipping, placing it where exactly, like if he needs to put a little touch on it, a little over the top, do some of that. He had one of those to Riley Nowakowski at one point. That was just a beautiful shot too. Again, 4 carries, 24 yards, and a touchdown. For those
that touchdown was so nice.
That touchdown was ridiculous. Like, you had to ride Pat Coogan's back into the end zone because that was the only person within 20 yards of him, which is insane. 4 carries, 24 yards, touchdown. For those that don't follow college football stats enough, which if you're listening to us, you probably do, but just in case, sack yardage is deducted from your rushing yards. And how many times was he sacked? I don't remember.
Once.
At least once, right?
They got him once, and then after that, nothing.
Yeah. So he probably had somewhere closer to 30 to 35 yards rushing on the 4 carries. But again, piece of cake, right? Rushing yards as a good transition. Told you this was going to happen. Did I think we'd get as high as we got? No. Maryland 37, which I was shocked to see that they had 37 yards rushing, which is 2.2 yards per carry for them. IU 367 yards rushing at 7.1 yards per carry. 7. Like, that is ridiculous. Total yardage, again, massively different. Nearly 300 yards in different in total yards. IU 588. Maryland 293.
Wait. Seth math. He's not here. Seth math.
Do it.
Do you know what 293 times 2 is?
It would be 586.
There we go. More than doubled.
More than
30
double.
yards. That is insane. It was actually way easier to do 588 divided by 2, but I wanted you to do some carry math.
I can do that all day.
But yeah, again, this doesn't happen when you're on the road in conference. You don't double someone's yardage. That is a banana stat.
At their sold out, right? Finger quotes, sold out homecoming game. What Maryland has done all season, coming into the game, number 1 in the country in turnover margin. IU dominated them in that as well, outside of the second play of the game. IU +4 on the game, 3 fumbles recovered, 2 interceptions. That's 5 total. Do the math, -1. Boom, +4. Time of possession, IU dominating again. Maryland very poor at time of possession. They were even worse on Saturday. They averaged 29 going into the game. They only had 19 minutes and 38 seconds of ball time. We had 40 minutes. 40 minutes in a 60-minute game. Let's see, we already did that part. Now let's do 2 negative stats, I guess you would say. The Elijah Surratt streak of consecutive games with a catch was snapped yesterday at 46.
I got bad news.
I was going to say, has there been an update?
DraftKings support did not get back to Sasha yet, but was seen on Twitter that early exit does not count for college.
Ouch.
People were rioting at that. It was under DraftKings support. It wasn't in response to Elijah Surratt. So I don't know if there were other, maybe because Raiola got injured. I don't know what it was about, but DraftKings support put out early exit voids do not count for college props.
Ouch, bro. The other depressing note is that Florida State won a game yesterday. Those of you that did not know they were playing, they did. I had to look it up to see what the score was, and they hammered Wake Forest. So congratulations. That is now their first ACC victory in 2 years, I believe, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
So
one of
congratulations,
my friends pointed out. So just so we can LOL at Florida State. Mike Norvell did not win a game in his 43rd year of birth. He went a full calendar year of living as Florida State's head coach without winning a game.
That's impressive. Like at a quote blue blood quote power team, right? It's completely irrelevant, I guess, if that's a power. But yeah, man, just I guess good for him. Good for him.
One more stat I did want to pull
up. Go ahead,
up,
do it.
And just because I don't see it on your amazing outline here, and I'm not being facetious, is had on the road you always got to win the important downs. I said that early when we got that, they got the interception, and you and I were like, gotta hold them to 3, big third down. They went 4 of 14.
Yeah.
That's winning when it matters. IU 8 of 13 on 3rd and 4th down. So just incredibly efficient. I just wanted to call that out as well, because I thought that was a monster stat. Anytime you're going on the road, winning the downs that matter, and Indiana did that. All while, again, and I don't want to talk up on it too much because Sig downplayed it, so I don't want to put too much time on it. On the worst injury luck we've had all year.
Yeah.
No Drew Evans, no Aiden Fisher. Felt like there were obviously no Surratt. Cleo Benson was out for a bit. Caden Turner went to the tunnel. EJ looked like it was going to be a serious ankle. He ended up playing a few downs later. But, man, I just I felt like every half quarter there was a guy coming in or out. And so, again, being able to stay on script, not get rattled when some key pieces were shuffling in and out was very impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, man, the injury stuff was a little weird. I freaked out yesterday when they said that Caden Turner said that he felt something pop in his calf. And so PTSD of me being a Pacers fan, I just assumed it was an Achilles. And he walked off the field. So I'm assuming it's probably not, but I don't want to.
The only thing Sig said was Evans will be out a few weeks.
I don't like
he
that.
said Elijah was precautionary. Aiden was precautionary.
That's fine. Those two I can get with. I can get with those. All right, let's do it. Let's hop ahead. Let's do our headline real quick. Mine's easy. I'll do it and get out of the way. It was no Aiden, no Surratt, no problem. Like, done. Moving on. What do you got?
He's not here. This would have been much better if he was here. Where did Seth go last Saturday evening? What kind of party did he go to?
Oh, a soup party.
Correct. So my headline is turtle soup. That we just absolutely devoured them. It was a gruesome scene. So much, in fact, that Mike Locksley has been terminated.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think you guys spent some time on the preview pod. I apologize I did not get to it. But yeah, so my headline is turtle soup because it was an absolute massacre, and it led to a coach getting the cut. So that's my headline. And college, and in my mind, this is what I would have said. So I'm sorry if we're kind of backtracking this. I wasn't on the preview pod. One, Mike Locksley has the second best win percentage of any Maryland football coach ever. He had won bowl games in 3 straight seasons before the last 2. So he won bowls in 21, 22, and 23, right? And Maryland has to be one of the worst openings. UCLA is probably worse, but like they are going to get the 10th best option, the 12th best option. In my mind, you wait a season until there isn't so much coaching carousel going on. So, but as a Hoosier fan, man, they're going to get someone either largely unproven, or you're going to get someone like Odom at Purdue, a guy that's failed before and is just a retread, right? So is that going to be worse than Loxley? I don't know. Is it going to be better than Loxley? In my mind, probably not. Is it just going to be Loxley? I mean, in my mind, firing Loxley and getting the 10th to 15th best option is kind of like that Family Guy bit where it's like you could have a boat, or you could have this gift, and he's like, the gift could be a boat. And so I don't get the firing, but as an IU fan, good, because they're going to lose players, they're going to lose recruits, and guess who dominates the DMV?
Yeah,
Signetti and Company. Sig and Company have strong ties in the Maryland recruiting area. So good, as the gift goes. Good.
Yes. So Seth and I did talk about this on the preview pod about whether they should wait, and they didn't, or he didn't. One of the two. All right, let's do IU stocks up.
Yep.
We're not going to do any stocks down unless you want to do like injuries as a stock down. But all right, on offense, there are a few. So let me hear what you got.
I'll leave the obvious one for you. For me, I'm going O-line again for how it wasn't the starting O-line. It was constantly in rotation. To give up 1 sack and have 7.1 yards per carry. I think I made a Red Sea joke when Mendoza, because there wasn't a defender within 15 yards of him. So offensive line, just again, I think Seth might have said this on a previous podcast, or maybe it was a group chat. They all kind of blend in together, but that's the difference between I think this IU team and IU teams in the past is just the depth, the talent and depth that IU can just roll out specifically in the trenches is so dang impressive. So stock up offensive line for me.
Yeah, depth was impressive. I'll go depth, I guess. I mean, obviously Debo's there. You could go Debo. He was a monster. 7 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown. I'm going to go with the running back depth. We talked about it forever. Black had a huge game, 14 carries, 110, and a touchdown, which was 7 yards. Almost, it's 8. We'll round up 8 yards a carry. Himby in his personal homecoming, 18 carries, 88 yards, 5 yards a carry, and a touchdown. And Kobe Martin again, 11 carries, 80 yards, 7 yards a carry, 7.3 yards per carry, with a big one of 36 and a touchdown. So, I mean, it's deep there. We tried to get Solomon Van Horst a touchdown. That would have been awesome.
So I'll bring up another Mike Tomlinism. There's a reason why I'm bringing them so often. Colt fans will know. But again, look at the long for Black, 31 yards. The long for Martin, 36 yards. Alberto, 53-yard run. Nando, 18-yard run. Hemby, 16-yard run. I think that's a difference between this year and last year is, man, were Lawton and Ellison good, right? Yep. They were good. But they did it 4 to 6, 5 to 7 yards at a time. We are getting splash plays out of the running game. And I think that will, not right now, that will in big games, open up play action, open up just the entire playbook to be able to do things that I just don't think Shanahan and company had at their exposure last year, because there was no, I won't really call any of our running backs necessarily, home run threats, but there's splash threats in this backfield. Well, Hendy's definitely a home run threat. But again, there's just that splash mentality that we're getting in the running game that makes brings another layer to this offense.
Yes, totally agree. Here's some more depth stuff. So this one's not as easy to pick, but I mean, there are definitely some really easy-ish ones to go after if you want to. But give me your defensive stock up.
Boykin, certified stud. Again, I think he was mine last week. I'm saying it again. Last week I said not a blip on the radar. Boykin has made his no, he's a stud. Boykin in the last month has been playing like an all-conference player. And I just think, again, when you combined him, Farrell, Louis, Pons, Sharp, that is the best secondary. I know Caleb Downs exists. I'm not saying any of them are in the same zip code of Caleb Downs, but as a unit, number one, not in the Big Ten, number one secondary in the country. And Sharp and Boykin, the way Sharp has played against Oregon, the way Boykin's played in the last three, we knew what we had in Louis Moore, Amari Farrell, and D'Angelo Pons. But Boykin creating that fifth guy back there is just, again, best secondary in the country.
And if you want to talk about more depth, right? And when, let me ask a question. When you have true freshmen, and you want to try to save their red shirt, right? You play them when? You play them non-conference, you play them against Indiana State, you play them against Kennesaw State, like you play them in those games, right? I'm going to name some players that played yesterday in a Big Ten road game, and one of them finished third in tackles. Jaja Boyd played. He's played 2 games. He's played this game, and he played against just this game. No. Sorry. He's played Indiana State, UCLA, and Maryland. You had Byron Baldwin, who made his presence known with a very big play on a strip.
The TFL was awesome.
Yes, the TFL, the strip, and then the recovery. He comes in. He's only played against UCLA and Maryland the last 2 weeks. The big-time recruit, right? Then you've got Jalen Bell got playing time out there yesterday. Trying to see if
and Dukeway, I mean, he's a red shirt.
Dukeway got some good stuff out there, right? And that's one of the guys I think he's going to be a stud. And then our boy Jeff Utzinger had to get thrown in and play a couple snaps while Turner went down. He comes in, he makes a massive hit on his first play out there on defense. I FaceTimed with him last night at about
I wondered if you were going to humble brag about that one.
No, it's not me. I didn't call him. So a mutual friend of ours was his lacrosse coach at Cathedral, and he still maintains pretty good contact with him, and he just randomly FaceTimed him in the Uber on the way back from the show. And man, I gave him so much shit about like I hyped him up big time about that hit, and then I was like, dude, the next play, what was that? What happened? But he defended it. He was like, oh man, it wasn't me. It was somebody. He threw somebody under the bus. I can't remember who it was, but it was pretty funny. Just joking around. I think we're gonna get him on next week or whatever to chat, and
the bye week. I think the bye week's the perfect time.
Yep, there you go. I guess I could.
Garrett Reese, also freshman out of Carmel, got on the stat book.
Who's that? Reese.
Garrett
Reese was in there. Yeah. I got a good one. I thought Mikhail Kamara had a massive game. He was actually one of the players of the game that Sig picked to sing the fight song in the locker room. Again, his stats aren't going to tell anything, right? 2 tackles, 1 solo tackle, no TFLs, no sacks, no nothing, right? But the guy was in that backfield and pressuring Washington every single snap, it felt like. And I said it as soon as we got pressure on him the first time. He can't deal with it. He throws it. Now, granted, he did a great job. He didn't get sacked at all, but he just gets rid of the football. He doesn't want any pressure anywhere near him. So him being there, coming around the corner, scaring the shit out of him, I guess. I don't know. And just, I mean, that caused easily
Didn't
one of
take
the
much to scare
interceptions.
that guy.
It didn't. And that's against a very good statistical offensive line as far as pass protection, which, again, they did well. I mean, they only gave up 3 TFLs, no sacks. And then on the other side of that coin is they only had the ball for 19 minutes. So we didn't have very many opportunities to do that. You could go a lot of different other places. You could go Louis Moore. You could go Caden Turner coming in and stepping in and making a pick and then getting hurt.
That Louis Moore interception was such a
so
center
good, dude.
fielder play. That again, you see that on Sundays. You don't see college players making that play.
There's a call. Let's see if I could get it. I don't know how well it'll come across, but they did the Sunday swipe is on Instagram. So that's where they kind of put out all the big plays, and they put it with Don Fisher doing the calls. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Okay, so here it is. You could hear a little bit of hesitation in him going, he's going deep, because you saw that receiver and he was wide open for a split second. And then Moore's recovery speed and then the ability to jump up and get in front of the wide receiver to just want the ball more was massive. And then the other thing was, did you hear the roar? Like, I need to go back. I'm about halfway through the first quarter. That's about how far I got. But if you go through that swipe through, and I think it's the first or second one on the Instagram. It's the very first thing on Indiana's currently right now, Indiana's Instagram account. If you go through it, the roars from the crowd, the amount of people, IU fans that were at that game is crazy. There's one highlight somewhere where, it's the Boykin touchdown, where where they give a camera angle from the other side of the field, and you can see, not in a section, a whole side of the stadium is jumping up and down and screaming and clapping and cheering for what's going on, which means we took up a good section of that whole stadium. So that's encouraging as well, but that has nothing to do with stocks. So stocks up to the visiting fans, I guess. Let's do a quick promo. We'll revisit predictions. I don't know if you have any randos. We'll go through those. If you have anything you want to say at the end, we can do that, and then we'll get out of here. So be right back. This episode is brought to you by your go-to expert in the Indiana real estate market. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in a home right here in the heart of the Hoosier country, Garrett Lawton with True Blood Real Estate is the agent that you need. He's not just a real estate agent, he's a Hoosier fan just like you. And Garrett knows Indiana inside and out, from Bloomington to Indianapolis and everywhere in between. Plus, his personalized service makes the buying and selling process smooth and stress-free. So if you're ready to make a move, give Garrett a call at 317-410-8851 or visit his website at lawton-realty.com. We are back. Revisit predictions. The funny thing is, Seth's not here to celebrate this. What was your prediction? Because I didn't write it in. I can't remember.
Same exact as yours. 38-13.
Okay. So I was 38-13. You were 38-13. Seth was 45-17. So he wins. He was off 10. He was up 10, 17 total. Yeah, so he was good. We were both off 17 alone in IU's points. So
we only lost by 3. We're fine.
Yeah, but we made it a little bit closer than should have been. All right. Let's get some randos going, and then we'll get everybody out.
I got no randos. I'm never gonna have a rando for the post game.
All right. Do you have anything to say? Any final statements?
Yes, I do. So again, some people in my group chat, this actually was not Florida State fans. These were Ohio State fans. And I said, last night, I cannot wait to play Ohio State. I believe this team is different. They responded by saying, you learned nothing from last year. Indiana still cannot play a good team or still has not beaten a good team.
Oh, my God, dude.
And that's when I say, again, this team this year is different than last year. It seems like it on the sidelines. It seemed the coaches are coaching different. We are winning different. People that say, well, I use just when they play a good team, it's just going to happen again. If they say just like last year, they are playing themselves because there is such a difference in this year's team to last year's team. And that's, again, last year was the greatest season in Indiana football history. This is not me downplaying it. Last season was the most fun I'd ever had in a college basketball or college football. The most fun college season I've ever had in my life. This team is different. This team is different. So go on. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, can you explain to me? I'm sorry for the language for people listening, but it's the frustration is boiling over. Can you explain to me what the fuck we have to do for somebody to say that we haven't beaten anybody?
I won't say when. That's Ohio State talk. I'm not going to say when. If we go in and beat Penn State, that ain't going to be enough.
We beat Oregon in Oregon, which is something Ohio State could not do last year. They don't play them this year. Probably good for them because they would get beat, but they couldn't do it. We did it, and not only did it, didn't need a last-second oopsie by our robot trash coach that couldn't call a timeout in time, but we dominated them.
These are people that don't watch the game. Again, these are two Ohio State fans.
So they're uneducated. Okay.
Neither went. One went to Florida State. One went to Murray State. They were both collegiate athletes, but neither went to Ohio State. And all they do, they're not big college football people. Like, they just watch Ohio State games. I guarantee both people that made that comment have not watched an Indiana game this year. But I think that is still the prevailing opinion that Indiana can't beat Bama. Indiana can't beat Georgia. Georgia looked terrible yesterday.
Yeah.
Bama looked terrible last week.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter to them because it's the name on the front of the jersey, and we will still fight that until we beat someone. And I know what you're going to say. We beat Oregon. Do you think casuals watched that game? No.
It was the highest rated. That was the highest rated college football game on CBS since, like, I can't even remember what they said it was. Like, it was.
And insane. It was game day. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But my final statement to kind of wrap this up is people are going to keep saying that. Don't get irrationally mad like Michael, because I think that's still a reality that people are still looking at names on the front of the jersey and not watching the games. People that listen to this pod are watching the games, and I know it. You know it. This team is different, yet we still have things we have to do to arrive. And I couldn't be more confident that we're going to do it. That's my statement.
Okay, I'm going to read this without. This is from Yahoo Sports. Let me see. Up 31% from year's games. Okay, so the most anticipated top 10 matchup, the network's most watched Week 7 game since 2022, which was Alabama versus Tennessee. That broadcast averaged 5.59 million viewers, which was up 31% from the Penn State USC game. Prior to that, IU Oregon peaked at 8.36 million people. Let me read off some other things. I'm going to read off, and again, I'm going to let it go after this. But in case for some reason those dum-dums somehow trip across our podcast and are still listening, I'm going to read some things. I'm going to do some math while I'm doing it. In the Big Ten, 53, 5, 10, 25, 50, 45. Those are your win margins in the Big Ten. The 5 being, I think, probably the second best team in the Big Ten is Iowa. But, and I think we'll find that out on Saturday. Next Saturday,
I think
Iowa,
they beat Oregon.
Oregon.
They
Yeah.
beat Oregon.
Yeah. So then, okay. So then our best wins at Iowa. It's like, not like we're beating these teams at home. We're destroying teams that come to Bloomington. But, dude, I should have never gotten upset about it. They're just uneducated filth people, and it's fine. I mean, I'm sure they
do
got
live
education.
in Florida. They do live in Florida.
Ugh,
So
it's even
filth
worse.
people is potentially accurate.
But if you're listening to us and you live in Florida and you're a fan of IU, you are the exception. Are the exception.
Because you're not from Ohio. Both these people are from Ohio.
That's even worse.
Ugh.
All right, let's get out of here. Be sure to check out the pod on Twitter, Instagram at Happy Hour IUFB. Be sure to download, rate, review, and follow on all of the platforms. It's gonna be tricky. Next weekend, I will be out of town.
Correct.
Friday through Sunday.
Yep.
I don't know what the schedule is. I don't know if we're coming home Sunday or if we're staying Sunday too. But
Seth and I can likely do it. This is bad. We should take this off of it, though. We should cheers everyone. But we will have our preview pod and we will have our post game pod. Regardless, it might just be a little musical cheers.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, see you later. Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Go Hoosiers.
Peace.
What you think of my new saddle, Lizard?
Oh yeah, it's swell, mate. Proper comfy.
Just one of the upgrades I've added to this puppy.
What else have you got on here?
New air intake filter, quick shifter, and a beefy muffler.
Well, that's why you ride with Geico Motorcycle Insurance, so you can cover your custom parts and equipment. Now let's hear that muffler purr.
All right, hang on tight to my love handles.
It feels good to ride with help. It feels good to Geico.